Okay, this is a picture of Gaza and Israel. Israel's in the green. Gaza is there by the Mediterranean Sea. That strip. The streets in Gaza are very narrow, single file. The fences around Gaza, which cage the people in, are all electronically monitored for movement and identification. And the Israelis, I mean, yeah, the Israelis have blocked off exit points to the south of Gaza, and they are bringing in military guns and so forth into the Mediterranean. The U.S. is sending in an aircraft carrier into the Mediterranean loaded with all kinds of warplanes, and they are telling the people of Gaza to leave, go out into the fields, or go into school buildings. The people who live in Gaza, the Palestinians, say if the people go into those school buildings, the Israelis bomb the school buildings, and every night they do repeated bombings. It said last night they were every 5 minutes. So going into the school buildings is kind of setting up a kill camp, much as the Nazis did to the Jews back in World War II, or was it one? And so that this is a repeat of the Jews and kill camps. First, the Jews were subject to the kills by the Nazis. Now the Jews have become the Nazis, and they are killing the Palestinians by caging them in and slowly killing them. You have to understand, most of the people in Gaza that are male are young. Over the last 50 to 70 years, most of the men, older men, have been killed systematically by the Israelis. And at night, the Israelis will go into Gaza and extract males who appear aggressive, so that if during the day males throw stones at tanks, they will observe the male, and then during the evening around 2 a.m., they will knock on the door of that male's house and extract the boy from the family and put him in a prison. It is said that there are thousands of Palestinians in Israeli prisons who have been extracted from Gaza in that manner. They are kind of lost to the system. People don't know whether they're alive or dead. So when you have high pressure systems like this, and it's over 50 to 70 years or longer, you do get mental illnesses that develop. These young kids that are in Gaza have been born in this system. This is the only system they know, although they know that outside of their community that people are living much different lives. But they grow up in this caged up world, and they are monitored. They can't leave unless they have a pass, and when they leave, they are under the watch of Israelis with guns. So you can see why this was a pressure cooker ready to explode. 50 to 70 years, people had a chance to work on this, try to get things better, figure out a plan. And the Israelis have been stealing land from the Palestinians for 50 to 70 years. They have these settlers that are slowly encroaching, well, not slowly, but pretty quickly encroaching on the land of the Palestinians. What they were doing is, a Palestinian had a home, the Jews would come, knock on the door, the man would come out, start arguing with the Jews. Somebody would slip into the house behind the man, close the door, lock it, and then the man is locked out of his house, and that house would be proclaimed to be owned by the Jews who slipped into the house. So they take this land and they are building huge numbers of multi-level housing on the former Palestinian land. It is concrete and steel, and the Palestinians can see these encroaching buildings, and they're angry because that used to be their land, and now they're building housing for the Jews. Now, the Jews that are moving in, their children have grown up with this situation where they can treat Palestinians any way they want. And they can kick them, they can beat them, they call them names. They know that they are totally under the gun. So the male Jews who are in these encroaching settlement camps are being raised with a basis of hatred and superiority to the Palestinians, and extreme hatred such that they really want them dead. This is not going anywhere great. So this had to boil up. Americans saw it. Everyone around the world saw it. No one did anything. America has been particularly ineffective because Congress has not been helping in any way. Currently, they're looking into the Hunter Biden drug addiction problems. He's not even a government employee or related to the government in any way as an individual, and it's just ridiculous. So, with an ineffective America, this was a great time for everything to come to a head, because the Palestinians felt nobody cared, and if they were going to get out of this cage, they had to do it themselves, and the only way to do it was with violence, because they are surrounded by tanks every day, all day, and caged, and guns. So, horrible situation, but these are, again, as I remind you, the males in Palestine are young, and they were born into this situation. And the yesterday or today, the Israelis went in and bombed the banks, and they are bombing all of the Palestinian businesses and the multi-level towers that house Palestinian businesses. So they've already turned off the electricity, they've already turned off the water, they've already shot at the firemen, they've already shot at the ambulances and disabled them. They shot at the ambulance drivers, the medics. They bombed the hospitals and clinics, and they're not allowing any medical aid to go in. So anyone in Palestine who is injured will not find the medical materials needed to clean wounds, to prevent infection. And so people who are severely injured in Palestine will die from infection. Anyone who was caught in a collapsed building will die under the collapse, because there's no way to move the stones and so forth and rescue people. Over time, these bodies will decay, odors will arise, and disease will take over the whole area. This is a true mess. And the Israelis, having undergone similar treatment by the Nazis, have now become Israeli Nazis. So what do you think? And that is only part of the problem. Like and subscribe. Bye.